Bella from MaltaNutrition. We are back. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are joined by
Mifsud.
She is a triathlete and she's going to be telling us a bit about her and her lifestyle as a triathlete. So what does a typical training week look like for you?
So, Monday it is swim and gym, followed by recovery. Tuesday it is bike and run. Bike in the morning and run in the evening. Wednesday it is a swim and another gym session, followed by recovery. Thursday is bike and run. Then there's Friday, which is swim and just a recovery session. Saturday is a long bike and a short run, and then Sunday it is a short bike and a long run.
So non-stop.
It was averaging around about, over 20 hours a week for the past 25 weeks.
Even on Sundays?
Yes, long sessions on the weekends, specifically. That's when we train the most.
How do you balance training of all events with your everyday life?
I don't have much of a social life. So when it comes to the past 25 weeks that I've had, my son is at university at the moment, so at least there isn't that handful to dedicate this much time towards training. But apart from that, it was very monotonous because you know that you're waking up at 4:15 the day after, every day, so you're in bed by 8:30. And that was pretty much my lifestyle for the past 25 weeks.
How do you mentally prepare for a race?
So I definitely train alone a lot. I train over 95% of the time alone. So you train mentally as much as you train physically, if not even more. And you try and visualize. So you know that you're going to be looking down for a very, very long time. And you have to visualize that you're cycling in the dark and that you're starting a run at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, where this is obviously going to affect your sleep patterns. You try and prep as much as possible for things that can go wrong, but obviously during a race, you have to learn to adapt as well. So, but the main thing is that you train alone and you dig deep, because there are going to be sessions that they're going to be long and hard, and you're going to go into the places and you have to know to get out of them. So when it hits in the race, you say you've done it before.
Do you have any race day rituals or superstitions?
I definitely don't wear any finisher t-shirts before. There are races that give you a t-shirt that says finisher, and I really would want to touch it. I don't even try it on. So I just put it aside. I really would want to look at it, because to me it's like you're ruining the surprise, like if you've earned it or not. And I wear my ring. I've had this ring since I don't know when, but it's definitely been with me since since we starting triathlon. And yes, those two.
So your lucky ring.
My lucky ring.
What has inspired you to start competing in triathlons?
So I had started with a Maltese coach. I had started originally doing ultra trail running. And he used to tell me, come down to the pool for recovery. And I wouldn't know if you go down the pool by jumping or by going down a ladder. So I was really, I had no idea. But he taught me how to swim, so I really owe him that. The love for the bicycle was always there. I had the mountain bike. I still love the mountain bike. And eventually it grew. So I had the swimming, I had obviously the running, and then I got another bicycle. I got my road bike. And before you know it, I had applied for an Ironman back in 2022. So ever since, the bicycles increased, the distance increased.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been some of the best years, definitely.
Very spontaneous.
Indeed.
You know, they say the spontaneous things are the best.
Indeed.
What's the biggest challenge you've faced in a triathlon event?
First Ironman 2022 in Hamburg. You learn from mistakes. I didn't go and do the swim orientation. And I go down into the lake and I had a massive panic attack because there was absolutely zero visibility, apart from it being cold, so many people around you. I swallowed a lot of water. I'd actually done more than half the swimming in backstroke rather than in front crawl. Big mistake. But you learn. It did mess up my tummy on the bike, so I did over 2 hours until I got my tummy settled. But you learn. Then specifically, I chose a race with another lake swim because I wanted to overcome this. And I had traveled a bit beforehand. Well, a bit. I had traveled before specifically, so that I will be swimming every day. and I had managed. No panic attacks. So grateful for that, too. So grateful that it went well.
How do you deal with self-doubt or pressure to perform?
I don't do triathlon to prove anything to anyone, so I don't really have pressure. But this time, for the last race that I did, my coach put so much effort into me, and he made it his mission as much as mine to get me over the finish line. So I wanted to do well for him. And I also had a friend who came with me out of her own free will. She booked 80 days of leave and simply to be everything I needed. Absolutely everything. She was there on every lap, seeing her giggling, and it was a bloody comedy show that we we did, but it was such an enjoyable race. And I know that she solely came with me to get me across the finish line. So I had her at every lap that I looped because the last race was in fact a lot of looping. So I saw her many, many times. But apart from that, self doubt. The self doubt goes back to the question where I mentioned we talk about the mental training. So train alone, and it's important that you have strong self talk. Because if you start talking bad to yourself, you're gonna put yourself in a bad position. Whilst if you try and keep a strong but realistic, self talk, the doubts will decrease. So obviously then something tough really happens, we try and let it out. So stay calm. I have had punches during races. The first punch it took me double the time that I changed the tire than when it happens normally here in Malta. But in a race you panic.
Yes.
So stay calm and you do it.
How do you approach nutrition before, during, and after races?
So before, I don't change much. I try to stay on the same foods. However, there's the carb loading, which I do from 2 days before. I higher the carbs, lower the protein. This time I did actually start a beetroot build-up, beetroot powder. I read about it. I did that. Then during the race, it was the swim took me almost 3 hours, so I was sipping on water every 1.5 k solids. During my bike, the bike it was with my bars, pasta pesto, wraps, where my dear friend was preparing these amazing, amazing wraps, with peanut butter and banana. I loved it. Every time she prepared one, I was like, what fun. Anyway, it's a
You
very
burn a
long
lot of
race.
calories.
Yes, you do. And I was eating also sweet potatoes during the race. I was on carb drinks during the run, and orange juice. I was really enjoying the orange juice. I know I sipped on Coke a few times, a flat Coke, but it settles the
Flat,
tummy.
really?
Yes. Chikai
Flat.
Len. Yes, a flat Coke really settles the tummy. And then the last 21 k, definitely I was on the water and the gels. And then after I went straight for an ice cream. in my dry suit. I went up to the bar, I wanted ice cream. And
So that was your first meal after the race, an ice cream.
my ice cream. Yes, definitely. And after every race, I allow myself to buy any jar I want of Nutella and make my Nutella and sparkling water. Well, it's not going there, but
Yes.
but I do take quite a bit.
Well
and then
deserved.
yes. Just that time, just after a race, okay? A big race, not like I'm going to do a 5K and say I just have a jar of Nutella.
Are there any events or locations still on your triathlon bucket list?
Okay, so I wouldn't say exactly a bucket list. There are certain destinations which are a bit harder than the average. So there's a tendency that in triathlon you go specifically like to do good times, flat races. So I am really interested where there is different terrain, where the climates might change, something that you can't always train in more, but it is like super cold. I think that maybe slightly longer distance is also possible, but I don't want to plan anything just yet. But yes, there are so many nice races. But nothing specifically on the bucket list. After this race, I think I just wanted the break as well.
Mm-hmm.
It will come. It will come.
It will come. Spontaneous.
Yes, best things.
Exactly. Which has been your most memorable race and why?
Tallinn, Ironman Tallinn. Okay, the one that I just did. It was it, it was amazing. And I really enjoyed it. I really actually enjoyed it. So the last one I did, very, very happy. But when I raced Ironman Thailand, there was my son at the finish line. And I believe that that day, since he spent the day there, we actually realized how long the swim is, how long the bike is, and then what she has a varied into. And so I think he really grasped what it entails. So seeing him at the finish, it still makes me smile. But apart from that, I had friends that were racing the day after as well. And they all came from almost 1K from the finish. Some were running with me towards the finish. Some said, we're going to go and take photos of you at the finish. Everybody shouting. And I was like overwhelmed. Like really, it really filled me up with energy. And, the hugs from them all after, it was my favorite race so far. I managed that swim, the hard swim. I had a new bicycle for that race. My son was there. My friends were there. I finished in the light. So, for example, Hamburg, I had finished at the dark, right? That's the only one to compare it with from before. But this one, I finished in the sunlight. This is really a really nice day.
What advice would you give to those wanting to start triathlon racing, and why?
The perfect timing, I don't believe is ever going to come for anything. So if you really want to start, just start. So a lot of people struggle with the swim, get a swimming coach, start swimming. By yourself, treat yourself to a very nice bicycle. We love our bicycles. You don't even need a specific program for the beginning, go and enjoy your runs, go and cycle, stuff. The structure, just the swimming, I would say. But just start. You're never going to find the right time. And why? Because it's a beautiful journey. And there are 3 disciplines. Well, some say that there are many more disciplines because there's the strength and conditioning, your recovery as well. There's the nutrition, there's the transitions. But then let's stick to 3 disciplines. That keeps it very, very entertaining.
Yes.
Believe me.
And it's very, I think, adventurous.
It takes you to many places. I mean, so far I've raced in Hamburg, in Tallinn, and in Portugal, which was beautiful. And the last one was in Colmar, in France. But Portugal, for example, beautiful, beautiful race. It takes you places, just takes you places. The journey is never ending because you've always got somewhere that you want to improve on, you know what I mean? So you don't really get bored of it very, very quickly.
And what are your short-term and long-term goals in the sport?
Right now, I'm in a recovery phase. I will be spending July and August with unstructured training. So that is my short term. I'm not a person that goes by motivation. I go more by discipline because motivation will fade out, but your discipline will remain. So I don't specifically want to have any targets for the time being, because some will say that think or feel that if you have a race, you're motivated to train for it. I want to train because I want to train, not because there's a race coming up. There are races in mind that I want to do, but I don't want to set anything in stone as yet.
Thank you so much for having us and
Thank you for
spending this
inviting.
time with us. We have a small gift for you from MaltaNutrition.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
And
Very
well
much.
done on all your successes. And
Appreciate
thank you
it.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next interview. This was Michelle.
Thank you.
You have some products from MaltaNutrition.
This is
Yes.
nice.
I
The
think
watermelon one. I know, I love it. The watermelon, I love it.
Ah, yes, these are
This one.
these are the
This is the
new
pre-workout.
ones.
I know, I
These
love
are the new ones. They're like the flow. You like the flow?
it.